Hey guys, Tristan from Tucked Up Systems here. Today we're going to be installing our integrated taillight and also our tuck mount on this 2023 CBR 650R. To mention, this would also fit the CB 650R. So what you're going to need for this install is a 3mm, 5mm Allen, helps if you have a set, 10mm, 12mm socket, obviously your ratcheting wrench, JAS or Phillips, 8mm wrench, a small flathead or a pick, our LED light display light, our tuck mount, and our integrated tail light. First thing we're gonna do, you remove your seat, or in this case, your rear cowl. Next thing we're gonna do is grab your 5mm Allen, remove your seat. Pulls up. Next thing we're gonna do, move these two bolts here. Again, they're 5mm Allens. Same thing on this side. Same thing with this bolt right here. It's a 5mm Allen again. Do that on the other side too, and then this is also a 5mm Allen right here. Same thing on this side. This lower bolt here. Next thing we're gonna do is move this black plastic right here. So all it is held in by Velcro. So just want to pull here, just like that. The rubber grommet here pulls away, and then it's slotted in here. Just pull. So I'll show that again on this side. Velcro is right over here. The rubber grommet's right over here where my hand is. And then pull forward. And it slides out just like that. Next thing you want to do is grab your Phillips or your JAS screwdriver, and then this little fastener right here. Twist it out. And then pull. So you want to pull it out like that, and then pull it out. Same thing on this side. And just pull it out. Now that we have all the bolts off, you're gonna want to remove the side fairings. So there might be some clips holding it in. Just want to make sure on the inside that they're pushed out. So Sometimes it's a little tricky. Get them popped out. If you just look inside, they're all there. And eventually it pops out, like just like that. Just take your time. Eventually it comes out. Same thing on the other side, I'll repeat. So you'll see in here, if you look in here, there's a little clip right there, a clip right there. Just want to make sure that you loosen them, and then it just slides right out. Slides out right here too. So next thing we're gonna do, move this 10mm bolt. It's holding the lock. Put that at the side. And then we've got access to the taillight bolts in there. And again, these are 10mm. Grab your seam. Just loosen them. Just break them loose. Now be careful when taking this out, as there's a washer. Don't lose that. Same thing on this side. Drop this right here. We're gonna be reusing these. So now that we have the taillight loose, we gotta unplug signals and also the taillight. It's just right here. Just pull up to release it from its grommet. Grab your pick or your flathead. You don't grab this little tab right here. Just pull it up. Pull up. Just like that. And then now that we have our taillight unplugged, we can just slide it out from its grommets. There's also a little clip that's right here. You just gotta release it, just pinch it. It's just holding the wire in. You can slide your taillight out. So now I've got the taillight out, we can actually remove the OEM tail here. You grab your 12mm, and there's 2 bolts on each side. It might be right on there. Just loosen them. And these bolts we're also going to be reusing for the tuck mount. And to the other side, same thing. Now this last bolt, you're gonna want to support the tail while you undo the last bolt. Like that. And then just slowly feed the plugs through. Your OEM tail's off. Now we have our tail light fastened. You can tidy up the wires a bit. Make sure it goes underneath the lock here. Let's lift up this wire, tuck it under there. Feed it underneath the toolkit. Just like that. Now grab your connectors here. So obviously the tail light plug goes to the big connector. So you hear it click, push it in. Blue goes to the blue connector. The white here is your plate light, and then the yellow to the orange. And it clicks. So before we tuck that in nicely, let's test it. It's on there. There's left, right, brake light, front brake, rear brake. And then with the signal, looks like it's all working. So now we can start our lock back. Just line up this little pin with this slot right here. You see it poking. Just get it started by hand. Tighten that down. Just tidy up all your wires here. Put this back onto the slot here. Just slots back down. Just like that. Now we get ready to install our tuck mount. So I'm gonna open our mount here. First thing you can do, grab these. Just, wrap them. Just go over to the bike. So now these are directional. So what you want to know you do is the slot there lines up the slot. Same thing the other side. Grab the factory hardware that you took off. Just thread them in by hand for now. Same thing with the other side. Grab your 12mm socket. Make sure the slot is not blocked by the mount. It's good right there. And go ahead and tighten down the bolts. It's perfect right there. Same thing on the other side. Line up the slot. Looks good. Looks good there. Perfect. tighten down the last bolt. Now we're going to grab our bolts. The ones with the nuts are for your license plate. Set those aside for now. Grab your 3mm Allen. Let's go to the bike. So now these posts here are threaded. And thread them first. Just like that. Make sure it's centered. That looks good. Just tighten them down. They don't have to be super tight. Just like that. So now that we have our mount installed, we're gonna ready to install our license plate. So I already have my plate light installed. I have a detailed video of that I can link in the description. So once you have that installed, you're gonna use your included license plate bolts. In this case, I'm using a reflector bolts. The bike. Now, in this case, this customer has opted to drill a hole for the license plate light. Obviously, it's a cleaner look, but not everyone wants to drill a hole. In that case, if you don't want to drill a hole, you would just feed the wire through like that. You can zip tie it in there. Make sure it's nice and clean. Obviously, it's not a cleaner look, but not everyone wants to drill into their bike. If you're not drilling your bike, you can skip this step. In this case, I made a mark. Just gonna start small, work my way up. Make sure it doesn't walk on you. Have a mark there. Just gonna grab my pick, probably easier. Just make a hole just like that. You can see where the hole is on the opposite side. It's right there. It's not the hole. Now the hole is big enough. And grab your bigger bit. Don't go too big. Just one up just so the wire goes through. And I'll get back to you once I do that. So now we have the hole big enough. You can see license plate light is nice and clean. So now we're gonna do is grab our hardware that's included. But in this case, using my reflector bolts, you're gonna want to slot the nut in the slot here, and it actually holds it in place. Grab your hardware, and you're just gonna want to slowly thread it in place. It holds it there, so you just gotta get it started. Once it's started, it'll actually hold it. You can tighten it down. This part's a bit tricky. Just take your time. You can see there, I started it, cocked, and then you just tighten in this case the reflector, but in that case it would be, what's included is a 3mm Allen. Same thing for the other side. It caught, so now you can just tighten it down. Tighten both sides down. There you have it. So now we're going to connect our plate light. Just go to your harness here, peel this back until you get to the wires. So now you're going to want to go to this white plug, which is this green and black wire. Grab your included posi taps. What you're gonna do here, unscrew the bottom like that, feed it in between, just kind of like that, and then tighten it down. And that creates a solid connection. Same thing for the green wire. Slide it through. And tighten it down. So now you're gonna unscrew these top sections here. Now in this case, the white goes to the black here. Just gonna slide it through and bobbin out just like that. And just thread it on. Tighten that down. Confirm you have a connection. Just give it a little tug. Same thing for this side. So now we have it connected. Just test it before we tighten it up. You can see it's on right there. So now I just want to peel back the boot. Like so. Put it back on its little there. Tidy up the wires, and we're ready to install the fairings back. Next thing you do is grab your fairing. Doesn't matter what side you start on. Just make sure all the tabs are in. And here's a click. Grab one of the bolts to make sure. That doesn't fall off. Hand thread it on. The other side, same thing. Here we go. Just grab your bolt. Now you tighten these down, grab your 5mm Allen. There you go. Next thing you do, grab your black plastic piece here. You want to slot this first. Make sure this goes behind the fairing. Just like that. So you slot it in, click in the rubber grommet there, and then just press down on all the Velcros. Same from the other side. Slot that into the fairing, keeping that behind. Like that. Push in the grommet, and then click on all the Velcros. Grab your bolts. So these ones that look like this, the shorter ones, go to the side here. And then these longer ones go into the black plastic down here. Same thing to the other side. There you go. You don't want to forget these plastic clips, just push them in and then screw them down. And repeat the same thing on the other side. Next thing, you grab your seat, slide it into the front just like that. Grab your 5mm Allen. Untighten one side. Make sure you do both evenly. So it's being a little stubborn. There we go. Last thing to do, grab your passenger seat, or in this case, rear cowl. There you have it. So that concludes the install on this 2023 CBR 650R. So let's go over what we installed today. So we installed our integrated taillight, our tucked mount, along with our plate light. So let's go over the left signal, right signal, front brake, rear brake. Any questions, contact me on Instagram or Facebook or our contact form. And thanks, guys.